Troll Patrol, Troll Patrol, whenever you're in trouble. Today we're tackling one of the internet's most bewildering and maddening phenomena, online trolls. What drives them to create so much chaos, and how can we sift through it without losing our sanity? And perhaps most importantly, when does all this go too far? Trolls want one thing and one thing only, your attention. They thrive on it. The more you give, the worse they get. That's why it's so crucial to starve them of that spotlight. However, some trolls become far more aggressive or try to exert control through threats. That's when you need to call them out for everyone's safety, including those in the troll's own life. This is a recent video that I was tagged in a bunch of times, hundreds of times, but the video has since then been taken down. I assume because she left some of the language that the man had said to her in the video, and that got her a violation. That's why I usually blur these things out. Now, first, let's go ahead and watch her video.
Man, being a content creator is sometimes absolutely insane and scary. So I got this message on Christmas Eve of all days from this Kevin McLaughlin guy. He's from somewhere in Ohio, I think Vandalia. Anyway, he was all pissed off because I said Luigi is hot. He said I was acting like he was a hero, I condone murder, all this stuff. And I'm like, no, just because I said somebody is physically attractive does not mean I support what they did. I mean, Ted Bundy was hot. Does that mean I agree with being a serial killer? No. Anyway, look at this shit. I pray everyone in your miserable family gets a bullet in the back of the head for 2025, and you are savagely, I'm not going to say those words because I don't want my video to get taken down, by a Venezuelan gang. You filthy subhuman. And I said, thank you. Merry Christmas. Which obviously pissed Kevin off even more because then he said, your mother should have put you on a coat hanger. I mean, it's just insane. I can't imagine saying something like this to my worst enemy, and all because I said somebody was hot. If you're a content creator, have you ever gotten something this insane? I mean, I'm sure we've all gotten the messages from people saying that we're stupid or ugly or whatever else, but I cannot believe this. If he's going to say something like this to somebody he doesn't even know, I wonder how he treats his wife.
To answer her question, yes, I have received messages like that. In fact, there's a content creator on TikTok named Razook who makes daily content about me, really racist ways. So let's review this once more. Kevin McLaughlin here from Ohio decided that it would be okay to send these horrible threats to this woman for simply saying that Luigi Mangione is hot, which he is. I mean, you can't argue that. Look at him. He's good looking. Pointing that out does not imply violence. What must be understood is that this is no longer just hateful language or harassment. This is a direct and criminal threat. This behavior crosses every conceivable line, and it's critical that we take such threats seriously. By holding these trolls accountable, exposing them, and making examples out of them. And make it absolutely clear that this kind of conduct isn't merely trolling, it's an unacceptable act of violence. And defending Brian Thompson isn't actually defending Brian Thompson, it's defending the system in place, which robs us of our dignity and our right to live so that people like Brian Thompson and United Healthcare could make a little more cash. Now, I receive messages like this quite often, and usually I'll go ahead and post them to my stories or I'll report them so they lose their account. But every now and then, I like to show it to you guys too. And I think it is important that I do. Who sends messages like this to people? Dangerous people who have obviously thought of these sort of things or thought that they could get their way with force and fear. But one of the most egregious messages that I receive is after somebody has been identified in a video or they're being held accountable for something that they did, their response will be, if you don't take your video down, I'm going to unalive myself. This is not only manipulation, but it is abusive. It is an abusive tactic that they've obviously used on other people to get their way. You got to show them it not only doesn't work, but it has direct and immediate consequences. It is not normal to want to end your life because somebody wants to hold you accountable for what you did to them. It is not on the victim now to be responsible for your behavior. That's not how it works. If you were to do something horrible as to unalive yourself, and I am saying that that's horrible, don't do that. That's on you. And to try to put the responsibility on the victim is cruel. But when you're a degenerate that can't take accountability for your own actions, that won't stop you. For example, William Hammond, the punk rock MAGA cowboy, we were calling him Skid Rock. He was actually in an independent movie where he played Lemmy from Motorhead, but due to his behavior, they removed his scene and recast the part. He had told me that if I do not take my videos down, that he would unalive himself. And I used that message as confirmation as, we got the right person, and then we laughed as he got arrested. And what do you know? He didn't hurt himself. If he did, that would have been on him anyway. But when he sent me that message saying he was going to do that, do you know what my reaction is to that? Call in a wellness check. Make sure they're okay. You may hate the person, but you don't want them to do this to themselves, right? So that's why it's important to call in a wellness check so the police can come by and make sure that they're okay. You can't create scenarios like this for strangers on the internet. And it is absolutely not normal to try to control people by threatening yourself. Call in a wellness check for them, make sure they're okay, and that stupid shit will stop. So here's another example. We have Ricky Barnett. I didn't actually make a video about this guy at all. After coach Aaron De La Torre took his own life, after more and more victims of his abuse started to come forward, myself and victims of Aaron received non-stop death threats on his behalf. One of them was from this guy named Ricky Barnett.
Now here's what Ricky had posted. Now I have removed all the personal information, including my family's names, my previous jobs, so on and so forth. But I included his caption where he said, "This is the man that got a coach to kill himself after getting mobs of people to send him death threats. He's been under litigation multiple times and even banned on Twitter for the same shit. You destroyed a community and you don't even care. Danish, I'm coming for you. I'm a nobody. You got nothing on me." But Danish did have something on him.
His wife follows me. What's very interesting about this couple is that they completely supported what I was doing, as did all Denton ISD parents. So suddenly they decided, hey, let's go after the person who was helping us. Of course, his wife did not agree with what he was saying. And I told her I would just let it go. But what he said is absolutely inappropriate and disgusting, and I should expose it. And then I looked at my messages from him to see if he sent me an apology. And instead, I noticed he sent me this. He threatened to unalive himself. Also, doing that right after what happened with Aaron De La Torre to try to fuck with me is so messed up. I don't know where to begin to tell you how awful that truly is.
So while it is still true that the only thing a troll wants is your attention, it is also true that what they don't want is everybody else's attention. What they don't want is to be held accountable for their actions and their words.
There's no anonymity on the internet. You can be found. All you can do is make it take more time, but you will be found. Like everybody else. You can't control people by threatening them. You can't control people by threatening yourself. Trolls of the internet, you're not that clever, or you'd find a way to insult people without directly using harmful words and having to hide behind faceless accounts. So here are a couple reminders of just how easy trolls are to find.
I was asked to identify this anonymous account, leaving racist comments. The horrible things people do and say in anonymous accounts is mind-boggling. Thinking that the internet somehow promised them anonymity. It did not. It's a privilege to have anonymity. And that privilege is stripped of you when you say things like this to a black man who's just trying to present history to you. Let's find out who's behind the account. Clayton. We'll find out what it is. And I'll show you guys the entire process. Clayton, looks like you don't have very many followers here. And one of them, your first follower, you seem to follow back. It was the first person you followed. I bet you know them. Are they a friend? Coworker? Sibling? Significant other? Am I getting closer? He has her full name as her username. Melissa Wasbinski. I'm always watching Wasbinski. So all we have to do is Google that name and we get a wedding registry between her and a
Cody Portalatin.
If you remove some letters there in the middle, you get Clayton. Hello, Cody. I've taken away your anonymity. Good luck.
Hey, Slick Bizzle. You like to post racist things, but you're afraid to show your face. I found your face. First thing I did was check your first mutual friend on this app. Went through her page, found her name. Then I checked her Facebook to see if she was interacting with anybody that was posting things like what you post. I saw this post here of a black Confederate flag guitar and noticed that it was also on this Facebook here. But you have this Facebook locked down pretty well. So I went through your post to find something to give me a clue, and you talked about a wife that you love here. So I figured your wife would comment, Lisa Arwood Carr is your wife. and you think you've hidden your identity very well on your Facebook page, but if you go to share link, you'll see you forgot to delete it here. Rick Carr. Also, I found your YouTube page with that black Confederate flag guitar. Funny how the Confederacy always loses.
Hey guys, thank you so much for watching my video. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you enjoy this new format that I'm doing. I'm going to continue doing more episodes like this moving forward. Go ahead and smash the like button, curb stomp the subscribe button so you can see more of me. See you guys soon.